Before the dawn of mankind, before the first whisper of wind or the crash of waves, there were three brothers born of chaos and vengeance. Zeus, lord of the sky and wielder of thunder. Poseidon, master of the seas and keeper of the tides. And Hades, ruler of the underworld, guardian of the unseen. Bound by blood, divided by destiny, they rose against their father, Cronus, and carved the universe into realms of their own. But power, even among gods, breeds shadows. And one day, those shadows began to stir again. High above the mortal world, the peaks of Olympus pierced the heavens. Golden clouds swirled around marble temples, and the air shimmered with divine light. There, at the heart of all creation, stood Zeus, the thunderer. His eyes burned like lightning trapped in human form, his hand clenched around the bolt that could split the sky in two. Something stirred beneath him. The balance trembled. The air felt heavy with prophecy. From the depths of the endless ocean came a roar like 1,000 storms breaking at once. The sea split open, and rising from the abyss came a chariot of coral and gold. For horses made of foam and salt carried the sea lord toward Olympus. Poseidon's trident gleamed with power, each prong humming with the heartbeat of the ocean. The seas were restless, he said. The waters churned without command. Something ancient was moving beneath the deep. The ocean never lies, and the current spoke of old powers, long buried, now waking. Then a sudden chill swept through Olympus. The light dimmed. The laughter of nymphs faded into silence. From the shadows beyond the gates, a dark mist coiled like smoke. And there, emerging from the veil between worlds, came Hades, lord of the dead. His armor was black as obsidian, his bident burning faintly with infernal fire. The dead whispered of things they should not know. They spoke of cracks in the veil, and a voice echoing in Tartarus, older than time, older than the gods themselves. Something imprisoned was stirring in the dark. The three brothers stood in a circle upon the clouds, lightning above, sea mist around, shadows below. The air itself seemed to hold its breath. Zeus spoke of the order they had built, of the world they had forged from chaos. But if chaos returned, even gods might fall. Poseidon replied that perhaps it was not chaos returning, but balance demanding its due. The earth remembers all that was taken from it, he said. Hades smiled faintly and answered that the dead do not rise for balance, they rise for vengeance. And so the brothers decided, they would stand together, as they once did, against the dark. Long ago, the skies had burned with war. The sons of Cronus rose against their father, leading the Olympians against the Titans. Mountains crumbled, seas boiled, and the underworld overflowed. Zeus hurled thunder across the heavens, Poseidon split the oceans, and Hades unleashed the chains of the dead to pull the Titans into the abyss. When the war ended, the world was remade, and the three brothers divided it among themselves, sky, sea, and underworld. But in every victory lies the seed of another war. From the mists of Olympus came the voice of an oracle. Her eyes were white with visions, and her voice echoed through eternity. When thunder meets tide and shadow touches light, she said, the blood of the brothers shall once more be tested. And if pride rules their hearts, the sky shall break and the world shall drown. Deep beneath the earth, in the dark heart of Tartarus, something ancient awoke. Chains forged by the gods trembled. A single massive eye opened, filled with hatred and memory. The children of Cronus, said the voice, had stolen the throne that once belonged to the Titans. And now, the Titans would rise again. The ground shook. Volcanoes roared. The seas turned black. Zeus lifted his thunderbolt, sending lightning through the heavens. Poseidon struck the ground, summoning walls of water to protect Olympus. Hades opened the gates of the underworld, unleashing legions of ghostly warriors. For the first time in ages, the three brothers fought side by side. The sky became fire. The ocean became fury. The earth became a tomb. Their enemies rose, shapes of flame and stone, roaring with rage. The gods fought with all their might. Thunder, water, and shadow intertwined, their power shaking the very fabric of creation. But even gods can falter. The power of the Titans was immense. Hades, seeing the tide turn, made a choice. He raised his bident high and drove it into the ground, opening a rift between worlds. A black vortex pulled the Titans downward, sealing them once again in Tartarus, but at a terrible cost. Zeus called out to him, but Hades only replied, "I keep the balance, as promised." And with those words, the Lord of the Dead vanished into darkness. When the dust settled, the world was silent. The seas calmed. The thunder faded. Only Zeus and Poseidon remained upon the mountaintop. Poseidon said softly that Hades had done what needed to be done, though he had paid the price no god should bear. Zeus bowed his head. They would honor his choice, and guard the world until he returned, if he ever did. And so, upon the highest peak of Olympus, beneath the dying storm, the brothers forged a new pact. Thunder would rule the sky. The sea would guard the earth. And shadow would keep the balance. From that day on, every storm that rages across the heavens, every tide that rises, and every whisper in the dark, reminds the world of the oath of the three brothers, an oath written not in stone, but in eternity. This is the tale of the three brothers of Olympus. A story of power, sacrifice, and the fragile thread that binds all creation. The story of Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, the gods who shaped the world, and the silence that follows their thunder.